Thank you for joining the session. Just a quick introduction again. My name is Yael Hacker. And in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna talk about a tool that is available for you to use that is called SmartMove. It's one of the pre-sale tools that are available for you for your day-to-day to make your day-to-day easier. We're working with you closely with each one of you, with partners, with local sales, with customers, and we are aware of the challenges that your guys are facing on your day-to-day work. We know that you're getting many excuses from customers sometimes, for example, that they don't have time, they don't have resources, for example, to do upgrade, or they insist that the current solution is good enough and they don't need to move to another vendor. But how can we avoid these excuses? How can we provide you a tool that can make your day-to-day less complicated, maybe even more efficient? So for this purpose, we have developed a very nice tool called SmartMove. And with SmartMove, it will be very easy to move from Checkpoint, from other security vendors to Checkpoint. Usually, as you know, moving to another vendor is a really critical task, and we try to make it automated with to minimize disruptions to the business. And with SmartMove, it automatically converts a third-party database with firewall, with policy, with NAT, all the objects, everything to Checkpoint with minimum downtime. Today it is supported for R8010 and above. So if we look back before SmartMove, until SmartMove, what we did was lots of manual work. Usually partners and professional services of the partner or Checkpoint use some automated scripts, but this task was very, very complicated. It took lots of time. The manual work took lots of time. And of course, it could cause also human mistakes. So with the new way that we call it the SmartMove way, you can convert it from third party, much shorter, much more effective. We would like you to offer SmartMove to our customers, to your customers. It will bring added value. Customer will be able to see how his database will look like if he converts to R8010 or R8020, for example, so we can get the idea how everything will look like. Also, we will be able to fix some issues that might encounter during the upgrade, so we can predict that and see that in advance. And of course, I think also by using the tool, it can increase the confidence on the customer side. You will see that moving is not that difficult, and he might consider moving to Checkpoint. So just to quickly summarize the benefits, we said it's automatically can be converted. It can assist with proof of concept or to validate your rule base. It saves lots of time, and I really want to emphasize that lots of time. Everything that was done manually now is being, most of the work being done automatically. Before you move to, you use SmartMove, some requirements that are important for you to know that exist is that it's a tool, an executable that you run on your PC. So all you need to have is Windows 7 and above running administrator privilege, and Microsoft Net Framework installed. And we support only R8010 and above. So earlier releases are not supported with SmartMove. The process of moving is super easy. But before you do that, I wanted to emphasize that it's important to review the instructions and the limitations of the tool. Everything is documented on our secure knowledge, on our user guide, so it's available for you. Make sure you read everything before you use the tool, before you start migration. To start the migration, as you see in the diagram in front of you, you need to first get the configuration file from the third-party vendor. Everything is written also in the documentation how to get that. Second, you just need to download the executable, the tool itself, from our download center. Once you activate it, you just upload the configuration into the tool and you get an output file of the configuration that was just converted to Checkpoint. And at the end, you're getting a shell script that you just copy to the newly installed management and run it, and that's it. So it's really, really easy. We have movies that shows you how to do that, and in a few minutes, I will show you also a demo that we recorded this morning. It was a bit longer, so we made it shorter, and I will just play the session for you to see how easy it is and how you can use it. At the end of the migration, everything will be converted to R8010 and above, R8020, all the objects, firewall rules, NAT rules, everything will be converted. Again, it's super easy. What do we support today? And just to show you, we're able to convert from Fortinet. We're able to convert from Cisco, Juniper. You have the exact OS that we support for each vendor. Again, everything is written on our release notes. And really, really soon, we're going to release a SmartMove for Palo Alto. So stay tuned. It's going to be available, I believe, by next month. Hopefully, everything will be okay, and we will be able to send you an update about that. So how it looks like. Once you activate the tool, you just first need to accept the end user license agreement. And then the tool is an executable that looks as follows. You upload the configuration file, run the conversion, and at the end, you will be getting an output screen that looks as follows. All you need to do is go over the output file, make sure everything was converted as you expected it to be. If there are issues that needs to be fixed, and the tool also recommend you what errors there are during the migration. So you need to fix all the errors that you get. And if everything is okay and everything is safe to upgrade, just copy the 3 shell script at the bottom of the screen below and run it on your newly installed management. So information about the tool. If you access Partners Map, you have everything you need to know about SmartMove. You have a quick movie, some release notes. Important to say also that the tool is an open source code, so you can access the open source code and get all the code and configure it yourself, modify it yourself, share knowledge as well with the community. And for questions, you need to contact the Checkpoint community for any question that you have, our checkmate, and we will be happy to answer. You have the SK in front of you. You can copy the secure knowledge to get all the information. Something that is important to emphasize that the tool is automated and is doing most of the work, but still we recommend that professional services, partner, someone with technical knowledge will be involved here, will make sure that the configuration was converted correctly and everything is okay. The tool is nice to have, is something that helps you during migration, but doesn't do everything completely. So be aware of that, read the user guide, use it to ease your conversion experience, make it much more shorter and less work for you, but still someone with administrator experience should modify and make sure everything is correct. Some feedback that we received from partners and from customers who has been using the tool. So it's really sentences that I received from that. Someone told me, wow, if I knew that, it would have saved me 4 weeks of work. So it really saves lots of time. Try it. Also, one of the partners said that finally can concentrate on the real work, on the security work, and not just creating manually objects and network and wasting time. So the tool is really brilliant, and try it yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Shai Levin from Solution Center Checkpoint. Thank you for joining us today. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you a live demonstration of the SmartMove tool. We have a dedicated blueprint in DemoPoint for that focus in SmartMove, which include all the elements in order to practice SmartMove from start to end. Please spin up an environment. I have already do so. In each environment, you will find the resource tab in which you will find the cookbook that has a step-by-step instruction on how to operate the environment, and including environment diagram, VM IPs, password, and so on. Let's connect to the client machine and begin the process. Let's open a browser and connect to a Juniper appliance which runs JuneOS. The browser already has the credential, so just click login. Once you logged in, explore the menus on the left panel. You will see the network interface, their IP addresses, NAT rules, security zones, objects, and firewall rules. Now let's open SSH to the Juniper appliance and export the configuration to XML file. Now type the command CLI, press enter on the desktop. You will find the command that you will need to run. Open the text file, copy the command, show configuration, paste it on the PuTTY command line, press enter. You will see the running configuration in XML format. Close the window and you will notice a new file called srx.xml on the desktop. Open it with Notepad++. Now remove the text that is not part of the configuration file. Click Save and exit. Now open a SmartMove. Select the vendor. In our case, it's a Juniper JuneOS SRX. Choose the configuration file that we've just prepared, srx.xml. Choose the destination folder. In our case, it's on the desktop. The convert NAT rules is checked by default. If you want to prepare this configuration for a CMA, you can also type the CMA name and click Go. Now open the destination folder. You will see a few files in it. Let's open the first file, srx.xml. The file has the original configuration plus conversion errors. You will find them at the end of the file. In our case, I get an error that the primary IP address was not configured on the Juniper interfaces. So we will create the object with the first IP that was assigned to the interfaces. We also see a predefined services in JuneOS like JuneOS-FTP. The SmartMove tool will convert those services to Checkpoint predefined services. Now let's open the NAT rules file. You will see how the NAT rules are going to look like in the Checkpoint. You will also see the NAT conversion errors that are related to the error with the interfaces that we have previously saw. Those two rules are not going to be created once we will run the script that create the object and the NAT rules. In this case, you have two options. One is to create the rules manually. The second option is to fix the configuration issues on the Juniper device and run the SmartMove process again. Now let's open the object file and see the list of converted objects by category. Last one is the policy file. As you can see, we are going to use the same structure that Juniper used: sub-policy layers, from zone to zone, and the relevant rules. Two scripts files were created: srx object sh and srx policy sh. The first one is going to create all the objects, and the second one is going to create the policy package, which include the file rules and the NAT rules. We will copy those two files to the management home directory by using scp. Let's open SSH to the management. Run DOS to Unix command on the two files. We will give permission on those two files by using chmod. And we are ready to run the first script. We will run the object script first. While the process is running, you can open Smart Console and see that the object list is getting bigger and bigger. Once the process ends, a file with the name failed object will be created on the home directory. You can cut the file locally on the PuTTY or copy it to the Windows machine by using scp. Once you open the files, you will see that the error indicating that the zone with the name that have the name host cannot be used on a checkpoint because this is a reserved word. Just to understand how this mechanism works, I will run this object script again. We will see that the failed object file getting full of errors that obviously indicating that the IP addresses already exist and the object names already exist. Now let's run the second script, the policy creation script. It's going to take a while, depending on the size of the policy. Once it ends, you will see a new policy package with the name of the policy file that was created by running SmartMove conversion process. Click on the package to open it. and review the policy and the sub-layer policy. Also review the NAT rules. The policy was converted and imported successfully. Thank you again for joining this session. Goodbye.